Studio 31.
We are your Fox. Fox 23. Serving Southeast Missouri, Southern Illinois, Western Kentucky, and Northwest Tennessee. This is Fox 23 News at 9.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Alexis Skineski. The weekend weather started off pretty nicely, but will it continue as the weekend goes on? Here's Malcolm Byron with your first Fox 23 Storm Alert Team Forecast.
Well, I'd say it was a pretty nice day overall, although some of us had some precipitation, at least early on, but then skies really cleared out. Here's our temperature stand right now, 54 degrees in Cape Girardeau, 56 in Paducah, 55 out in Murray, in the southern part of the Fox 23 viewing area, 59 degrees at this hour. Now, I mentioned we had some rainfall earlier today, at least in the morning hours, for some. Most not seeing anything, but you see Poplar Bluff reporting 207 inch, and it was mainly this chunk of southern Missouri here that saw the precipitation, and then for the afternoon, we all dry it out. So for tonight, we have a frost advisory in effect. It goes into effect starting at 2 a.m. It'll end at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. There is potential to see some frost. It's the coolest air tomorrow morning, likely be in this chunk of real estate. It includes Cape Girardeau, Carbondale, Mount Vernon, and it goes as far south of Paducah. As far as your morning planner is concerned, we are looking at temperatures in the 30s right around 7 a.m., or at least the upper 30s, rising into the lower 40s by 8 o'clock with lots of sunshine, keeping sunshine through 9 a.m., 48 degrees. So a nice day tomorrow, but we do have more rain on the way. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a couple minutes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Malcolm. New at 9, a rollover collision sends one to the hospital in Reedland, Kentucky. The McCracken County Sheriff's Office responded to the call around 6:30 a.m. William DeLinger Jr. and Nicholas Lampley collided in the middle of the intersection of Kentucky Dam Road and Ledbetter Bridge. DeLinger was transported to a local hospital with injuries. Lampley was not injured. And thousands of Ukrainians continue to flee from violence as Russian forces continue attacking the country. Fox News correspondent Griff Jenkins has more from Lviv.
A train arrives, carrying desperate refugees fleeing unimaginable horrors, clinging to hope amidst a growing humanitarian crisis. Emotional reactions as relatives and friends are united. This train has come from the capital in Kyiv. It's en route to Poland, but it's stopping here at the Lviv train station, the main waypoint for the more than 4 million refugees who are trying to escape from the violence.
I lost everything. I lost everything in one day.
Natalia is a psychologist from the eastern Donbass region. She arrived in Lviv just hours before with her 71-year-old mother.
It was hell. RPG, Grad systems, ballistic systems. Everything is destroyed completely. Supermarkets, my house is destroyed. My mother's house is destroyed. We spent weeks in a basement. They destroyed the whole city.
This woman didn't want to give her name, but told us why she fled.
We had to leave Kyiv. Rockets flying above our heads. We are afraid. Our husbands stayed there. Our families are separated.
I am crying. It's really too hard.
Ludmila is from Kharkiv, an area seeing some of the fiercest fighting now. Will you go back to Kharkiv?
No. In future? Yeah. I believe. I really want. But I see when I use a train to come to Lviv, I see a destroyed house. I don't know how. It's like a lot of trash, but I see that it's real people accommodation.
It's scary.
Yeah.
One thing's for sure, everyone aboard this one and the ones that came before it, a life of uncertainty is ahead. Some wanting to remain nearby in hopes of returning to their home country. Others trying to get as far away as they can from what they call an unjust war being waged by Vladimir Putin. In Lviv, Ukraine, Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
And the conflict in Ukraine is also having impacts on the Ramadan practices of Muslims. Islam's holiest month began today as the faithful flocked to Mecca. Observance of Ramadan involves a dawn-to-dusk fast as well as family celebrations and gatherings for large meals. The conflict in Ukraine has sent energy and food prices soaring across the world. For the past 2 years, the holy month has already been impacted by the COVID pandemic, but now many are finding the most basic of items are too expensive to buy this year. And Amazon warehouse workers in New York City have voted to form the first U.S. union in the tech giant's 27-year history. This is a milestone for labor activists who for years have been considered Amazon's labor practices a threat to workers. The newly formed union can now help workers advocate for better pay, break, and vacation time.
Everybody behind me is all fighters, and we're going to fight to the very end. We're going to give it everything we got, and I'm confident that this won't be the last unionization for Amazon.
In Alabama, by contrast, a majority of Amazon workers rejected unionization in an outcome that has yet to be finalized. The vote could hinge on more than 400 challenged ballots, which could change the result. And this comes as a House committee is looking into how Amazon treats its workers following the death of 6 employees who were killed when a tornado hit the warehouse where they were working last December. The tragedy happened at the Amazon facility in Edwardsville, in Illinois. There are allegations supervisors at the Amazon facility threatened to fire employees and contractors if they left work during the storm. And Kellogg's and one of its popular breakfast snacks are out of the heat of the courtroom thanks to a judge ruling. A federal judge in Manhattan dismissed a proposed class action lawsuit against Frosted Strawberry Pop-Tarts. Judge Andrew Carter said reasonable customers wouldn't expect strawberries to be the required main ingredient. The lawsuit accused Kellogg's of misleading labeling to exaggerate the strawberry content. Carter also said labeling described flavor, not the source of flavor, and that customers aren't missing out on nutritional benefits in strawberries by the labeling. In Southeast Missouri State hosted an event to raise money for student athlete scholarships and celebrate women and girls of all ages.
All right, runners, if we can clap for these runners.
Southeast Missouri State hosted its 15th annual Sidney Gannon Walk for Women event while also celebrating 50 years of Title IX. Athletics AD Kim Schutte says this event is a time for celebrating.
Is to celebrate those wonderful women before us, all of the women around us, and then the little ones to follow.
The Walk for Women donations go to all the SEMO student athlete scholarships. But Brady Barkey understands women's athletics impact in sports and in the community.
We have tremendous female student athletes, and every one of our sports programs, our women's programs, have won a conference championship within the last 3 years. And so they're successful athletically, they're tremendous students academically, and they represent us so well in the community.
Former SEMO volleyball coach Sidney Gannon and creator of the Walk for Women event is grateful for everyone's continued support.
I initiated, but it is the community and the university that gave the support to this and has given us the opportunity to be here 15 years later and still celebrating women's athletics, Title IX for 50 years, and also just all the student athletes and the impact that everybody's contribution has made to these student athletes.
A contribution that is truly felt.
It's great. I think we all can agree that we're supported in almost every aspect of our lives, and especially today, it's very great.
In Cape Girardeau, Timothy Eves, Fox 23 at 9.
And another reason to celebrate at the Walk of Women event, Cindy Gannon learned she will be inducted into the Ohio Valley Conference Hall of Fame.
More fitting than to have the opportunity to be able to share with you all and to share with Cindy that Cindy Gannon is the first female coach and first administrator from SEMO to be inducted into the OVC Hall of Fame.
And she will be the first SEMO female coach and administrator to be inducted. Now, a Missouri man is now behind bars and facing several charges relating to the mistreatment of a child. Tony Ray Waits was arrested by the Wayne County Sheriff at St. Louis University Hospital. Waits is being held on charges of child molestation, sodomy, and endangering the welfare of a child. We are working to learn more about this case as the investigation continues. In April is Child Abuse Prevention Month across Missouri. Governor Mike Parson signed a proclamation making it official. Fox 23's Rob Cronister shows us how some Missourians marched the first day and what you can do to help prevent child abuse in our communities.
In 2021, the state of Missouri received 54,515 reports of suspected child abuse. It's why the Missouri Department of Social Services says Child Abuse Prevention Month is so important to raise awareness of and prevent abuse of Missouri's children. To mark the beginning of this important month, the Department of Social Services asked people to wear blue or put a blue pinwheel outside to show their support. The staff at Jasper County Children's Division was decked out in blue to support the cause. Thank you to Rachel Saint for sharing this photo. And the staff of the Children's Advocacy Center in Jefferson County also wore blue. Thanks to Stephanie Lane for sharing this photo with us. And team member Laura Roberts shared this photo wearing blue in support of a cause very close to her heart. The staff at the Dallas County Children's Division wore blue as well in this photo from Amy Mays Rowden. And in this photo, members of the Children's Division of Social Services hold a proclamation from Governor Parson that officially declares April 2022 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Missouri. Throughout the month, there will be events and activities across the state focused on the importance of child abuse prevention. To see an updated list, just check the calendar on the Missouri Department of Social Services website. The Department of Social Services says one of the most important things you can do is call their hotline if you suspect a child is being abused. The number is 1-800-392-3738. It is answered 24 hours a day year-round and is often the very first way the Department of Social Services learns about a case of abuse or neglect. In Cape Girardeau, Rob Cronster, Fox 23 News at 9.
And today marks World Autism Awareness Day, and every April, Autism Speaks celebrates World Autism Month. Throughout this month, Autism Speaks encourages people to have open conversations about autism, hoping this will lead to a better understanding and acceptance of people who have autism. Now, coming up after the break, Scott County will vote on a tax levy next week. What's it all for? We will tell you next.
See all this green here? This is Stormcast Monday afternoon. Will this precipitation affect your forecast for Sunday? We'll have the answer coming up after the break.
Young Sheldon, 5 times a week.
Weeknights at 6 on Fox 23.
Now, looking ahead to next week, Scott County residents will vote Tuesday on a tax levy increase for fire protection district upgrades.
Scott County Rural Fire Protection District has a ballot on Tuesday to pass a tax levy increase to build a new fire station, along with new storm sirens for the area and important equipment upgrades. The proposed increase of 50 cents per $100 of assessed value of personal property and real estate. In turn, this would lower insurance rates in the area for residents once the building projects are done. Fire Chief Jeremy Perrion of Scott County Rural Fire Protection District says the fire protection is doing what they can to get the fire insurance rates to go down. Their best interest is in the area and the residents who accommodate it. Fire safety equipment and storm sirens are a part of that tax levy increase.
We want to give back where we can. We want to have the opportunity to provide the best service that we possibly can to the community. I mean, I think everybody can agree that our firefighters love our community. We love the entire area.
Sasha Moore, Fox 23, News at 9.
And new data shows the U.S. is experiencing more tornadoes earlier in the year, and forecasters worry this trend will prove hazardous with millions more Americans impacted by storms. Fox News correspondent Mary Ann Rafferty reports.
The National Weather Service's Storm Prediction Center says the U.S. experienced more tornadoes this March than in any other March on record, with at least 219 twisters reported nationwide, more than double the average for the month, and breaking last year's record of 191 March tornadoes. While twisters aren't rare during March, tornado season usually heightens between May and June. And with 2 consecutive record-breaking March tornado seasons in a row, forecasters worry millions of Americans will now be exposed to more life-threatening weather in the future. as the window for these storms widens.
You could hear the wind getting real howly.
Many of these twisters carving huge paths of destruction across communities in the south. Southern Mississippi, the Florida Panhandle, and central Alabama are all busy cleaning up damage from this week's round of tornadoes. With a massive EF3 tornado also slamming northwest Arkansas Wednesday, bringing catastrophic winds clocking in at around 145 miles per hour. Meanwhile, deadly tornadoes struck southeastern Louisiana and northern Texas the week before.
At 75 years old, and my wife's 70, how do we start over? You know, how do we find what we have left to start over with?
The Storm Prediction Center first began recording tornadoes back in 1950. Since then, forecasters say warming global temperatures due to climate change are mostly to blame for the massive increase in tornadoes earlier in the year. Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
And just heartbreaking to see some of those images again. Meteorologist Malcolm Byron, I hope that's not for us in that.
Yeah, fortunately, I have seen years where we've had a very active start to the tornado season and then it just tanks by the time we get towards the end of it where we don't see much activity at all. We'll hope that's the case this year, but no severe weather today, and for the time being at least. A very nice day. Made it up to 68 degrees in Cape Girardeau, 71 degrees in Poplar Bluff, so most locations were in the 60s except for this one exception here. 68 the high in Kennett, 63 in Harrisburg, Illinois. Temperatures right now, 54 degrees in Cape Girardeau, 49 in Carbondale. So some locations starting to drop into the 40s, but many locations will drop into the 30s overnight tonight. Wind speeds right now are out of the north, and eventually they will shift out of the south, so we do have warm conditions going into the next couple of days. Satellite imagery right now doesn't show much. We have mostly clear skies overhead right now. We did see a little bit of rainfall across some portions of the viewing area, mainly in southeast Missouri earlier this morning. That system has since pulled away off towards the north and northeast, but we are watching our next weather maker. Right now, it's over the Intermountain West out towards Montana, and this is what's going to arrive over the next couple of days. At least it's going to approach tomorrow, and we'll start to see an increase in cloud cover. But let's check that with Stormcast. So for tomorrow morning, we're probably going to wake up to a lot of sunshine. Remember how I said winds are going to shift out of the south? Notice these arrows here. Winds will shift out of the south for the day tomorrow, but mostly clear skies right around lunchtime through the morning and right around towards lunchtime as well. For tonight, we're looking at lows in the 30s in most locations with a few 40s in the southern part of the viewing area, but some locations right around the freezing mark in the northern part of the viewing area, and that has prompted the National Weather Service to issue a frost advisory for the blue shaded counties. It includes Mount Vernon, Carbondale, Cape Girardeau, and as far south as Paducah. It will go into effect at 2 o'clock tonight, and it'll expire at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So if you have any plants outside, you might want to cover them up overnight tonight. Let's continue for Stormcast as we go in towards the afternoon hours. You'll notice clouds starting to approach and even some precipitation starting to approach late Sunday, but I think the day on Sunday will be mostly dry. We're looking for a high near 65 degrees in Cape Girardeau, most locations right in the 60s, around normal for this time of year. For the next 3 days, things turn a lot more unsettled for your Monday. Scattered showers become possible, persisting in towards Tuesday, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm there with temperatures in the upper 60s. Coming up in the next half hour, we're going to have a more detailed look as far as what the precipitation potential looks like these 2 days and even beyond Tuesday as well.
All right, thank you so much, Malcolm. Little rain never hurt no one, right?
Right. We can use it.
Now, coming up after the break, all things anime. We'll have more on that next.
The extended forecast is sponsored by Reynolds Roofing.
Weeknights at 6 on Fox 23. Judge Judy. Weekdays at 4 on Fox 23.
Welcome back. The third annual Cape Anime Con is taking over the Drury Plaza Convention Center this weekend. The two-day event celebrates the genre and draws crowds upwards of 1,000. Fox 23's Shane Holsey has the story.
Why? For I am here. Ha, 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 ha.
Spirits were high at Cape Anime Con on Saturday.
It's not every day you can walk out in the street dressed as your favorite superhero and people wouldn't think you were the weirdest person in the world, but you can do it here and you're normal. We embrace you, we make you a part of it.
Danny Stewart, who hosted the cosplay contest, says he finds joy in getting to share his passion with other people.
I have a passion for it, and I like to see other people who are passionate for it as well, and getting to be a part of it in my adult professional life has been one of the most rewarding things I've gotten to do.
Even the biggest of stars echo this sentiment, including well-known voice actor Mike McFarland.
To hear, like, you know, how much it means to them and what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it, and the antagonist made me so angry and the hero's so goofy and why they do this, and hear all those things of like, oh, you got the whole show, you got the message and you understand it and you enjoy it. It's so cool to be, you know, like that everyone gets it and takes some sort of joy out of it. That's so cool.
Artist Damani Edmondson embraces the Cape Anime atmosphere.
Here you can be yourself and just really have fun with other people who you can connect with. Just having that conversation of, hey, you like nerdy stuff, we like nerdy stuff, let's nerd out together.
When you come to Cape Anime, you could leave with something tangible, like this piece of art. But it's the intangible things that you will value even more. In Cape Girardeau, Shane Holsey, Fox 23 News at 9.
And it's your turn on 23. Every night we like to put the spotlight on what you're seeing as you go about your day. Here's a lovely shot sent in by Chuck Kessler. He was listening for turkeys in Whitewater, Missouri when he captured this beautiful sunset. And we'd love to see more of your pictures. The info is on your screen. You can upload pictures or send an email at KBSI23.com. And coming up after the break, a monumental happy birthday is in order for the Cape Girardeau Public Library. Plus, learn about your Fox 23 for free.
We are your 9 o'clock news station. This is Fox 23 News at 9.
Now, welcome back and thank you for staying with us. I'm Alexis Ganeski. The Benton, Kentucky Police Department are asking for your help in the theft of a beloved sign. The sign known as Mr. Tater was stolen from Rogue Graphics sometime overnight. The police department asked that the thief return the sign, or if anyone has any information about the theft, to contact the Benton Police Department. In 2022 is a big year for the Cape Girardeau Public Library. It's turning 100 years old, and to mark the occasion, there will be birthday events all year long. Fox 23's Isaac Koth explains how you can join the celebration.
The Cape Girardeau Public Library celebrates its 100-year anniversary. The library staff plan on diving deep into the library's rich history by hosting many events throughout the year.
It's obviously a wonderful milestone. It's something that only happens once, right? And I'm honored to be at the helm of the library during this time. Also, just making sure that we're giving recognition how we can and how we need to, because it doesn't have to do with me. It has to do with the patrons. The patrons are why we're here.
The library was established in the early 1900s. The building first started as a women's club. Later, the club was funded by the Carnegie Foundation, which led to a construction of the first library, which opened in 1922.
And they knew that Andrew Carnegie, a major mogul of steel, he was funding public libraries across the United States. And so they wrote to him and said, we would love a donation for our community so we can build a public library. And he said yes.
The library is hosting many events. These include a main celebration, a new limited edition library card, and a few events for the children.
We've been doing programs since the first of the year. A couple of months ago, kids made a piece of art using 100 coins.
Yeah, so we've got our main celebration is happening on June 15th, our actual 100-year anniversary. It's going to be an open house celebration starting at 4:30, but we're celebrating all year round. So we have commemorative library cards. We've got a special program coming up in April, late April, about the history of the Carnegie Library. We've got a professor coming from SEMO to give that presentation for our patrons.
Congratulations to the Public Library for this historic 100 years in the community. In Cape Girardeau, Isaac Koth, Fox 23 News at 9.
Now, looking ahead, a new week means a new round of road work. This is tonight's Orange Barrel Report. Now, bridge reconstruction is set to begin March 7th on State Route 177 North in Cape Girardeau County. The road closure will span 2.16 miles and is expected to last until November 1st. Now, here's meteorologist Malcolm Byron with your Fox 23 Storm Alert Team forecast. Malcolm, what do you think? What's tonight going to look like? Good sleeping weather?
Yeah, I mean, I like to think good sleeping weather is when there's rain falling on the rooftops, and that's just not going to be the case tonight. But we are watching our next disturbance. It's well off towards the west right now over Montana, and I think we will get through the day tomorrow at least without seeing any rainfall. That is certainly the case tonight. Skies are mostly clear right now. Any of the cloud cover that we saw earlier today, that's all has since pushed off towards the east. We are warmer compared to 24 hours ago. In fact, about 10 degrees warmer compared to 24 hours ago in Cape Girardeau. But I want to show you the dew points. This is often thought of as the floor for the temperatures. So overnight low temperatures will likely approach these values right here. Now the highest dew point values are to the south, 39, the current dew point in Kennett, and you see lower values generally speaking off towards the north, see 33 in Farmington. So we have the best potential to get the coolest off in the northern part of the viewing area, and for that reason we have a frost advisory in effect for the blue shaded counties here. So you might want to cover up any outdoor vegetation, or if you have any agricultural interests out that way, you might want to protect your plants. This goes into effect at 2 a.m. tonight and will expire at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Your day planner for tomorrow, we got a lot of sunshine at least to start the day, but clouds will steadily start to increase as the day wears on, especially in the evening hours. It'll be a nice day, 63 degrees by 3 o'clock. Alexa, I'd say this might be a good day to go look for Mr. Tater. What about you?
All right. I'm putting that on my list, okay? All right. Now, with warmer temperatures, people are doing more activities outdoors, and it makes more fun when the activity is free, of course. Reporter Isaac Koth shows us Railroad Museum in Poplar Bluff for free on Fox 23.
This is the Poplar Bluff Railroad Museum. The museum is free to the public and displays a lot of history. The museum includes more than 150 years of history. It features train history from southeast Missouri and northeast Arkansas.
The museum is housed in the 1928 Frisco train station. We are standing in the waiting room, and when you come in, you sign in at the ticket window.
The station displays 2 cabooses and 1 baggage mail car outside, although only 1 caboose is open to the public. The museum also features multiple exhibits.
Okay, the museum also has a train shop. We have a full stock of model trains and all the accessories that you need to make a model train layout.
The main exhibit showcases 2 model train stations. The first model features 3 different trains. Each train has a unique look and style. The second model displays an English-style layout. The model was donated to the station.
And the museum is all volunteer operation. No one gets paid, and all our profits from the train shop sale go back into maintaining the museum. And we also get income from memberships, annual memberships, and donations from the public.
I just love that. The museum is open every Saturday from 1 to 4, and the shop can be open with special arrangements for groups. Now, the Southeast Missouri Food Bank is partnering with local locations across the southeastern part of the state to help those in need. Fox 23's Timothy Eves has the story.
Southeast Missouri Food Bank is ready to help out Southeast Missouri communities, where all you need to do is drive by a select location on a given day and receive food. Southeast Missouri Food Bank services reach across 16 counties and helps 70,000 individuals monthly. It's able to help reach this many people because of its 140 networking partners and volunteers.
Doing it, we enjoy doing it, and it'd be a great blessing to the community.
SEMO Food Bank mobile pantries reaches a large amount of people at each location, and using this service can possibly help save families money.
Each mobile food pantry can serve 200 families. So if you think about a family going to the grocery store, the amount of food they'll get at one of those mobile pantries saves them probably $70.
And receiving services by the mobile pantries are easy to come by.
We also have a mobile pantry calendar on our website, semofoodbank.org.
The message that everyone involved with the mobile food pantries want to get across is that everyone is welcome and no one should be ashamed to use the services.
No one's looking at anybody differently, you know. Everybody needs help. Whether, you know, just grab your bag and come on out like I did this evening.
Thank y'all. In Sykeston, Timothy Eves, Fox 23 News at 9.
And in local sports news, Southern Illinois University announced that it has named a new women's basketball head coach.
I'm not going to ask for blind faith. I'm going to establish trust and establish relationships through building, bonding moments with the team where that trust happens over time.
Kelly Bond-White will be making her head coaching debut with SIU. She will replace coach Cindy Stein, who retired following the most recent season after leading the team to win their first Missouri Valley Conference championship since 2007 and advancing to the Women's National Invitation Tournament. And former Alaska governor and vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin is running for office again. Palin has announced she's looking to fill Alaska's only seat in Congress. Fox News correspondent Alexandria Hoff has the story. Sorry about that. Coming up after the break, learn how people are getting around the rising gas prices. All right, we're going to get right to meteorologist Malcolm Byron with your forecast. Malcolm, what's it look like out there?
Yeah, dry this evening, but that was a different case earlier today. I know some of you like to know how much rain fell. Not a lot. Most of it was across southeast Missouri. And again, by most, I do not mean a lot. Only 0.02 of an inch reported out in Poplar Bluff and just a couple scattered reports just in southeast Missouri. Elsewhere, not seeing too much precipitation earlier today. Here's our temperature stand right now. The warm spot on the map is Paducah, sitting at 56 degrees. Or I stand corrected. Kennett, sitting at 57 degrees. Couple locations in the upper 40s, 49 degrees right now in Harrisburg, 49 in Carbondale, 49 as well in Mount Vernon, 51 the current temperature in Farmington. For tonight, I think many of us will drop into the 30s. 36 our forecast low in Cape Girardeau. Generally speaking, warmer air farther to the south, not by much, but it is warmer. 41 the forecast low in Kennett, 39 in Union City, but head towards Carbondale, 33 and maybe even freezing mark right on the nose. 32 the forecast low in Mount Vernon. It is this area that will get the coolest, so there is a frost advisory that will go into effect for the blue shaded counties starting at 2 a.m. tonight. It'll expire at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. It includes Cape Girardeau. The only 3 counties in Missouri included are Perry, Bollinger, and Cape Girardeau counties includes most of southern Illinois. So if you have any plants outside, you might want to take some action to prevent them from getting frosted over. Let's take a look at satellite and radar imagery right now. There is not a lot to see. Any clouds that were with us today have pushed off towards the east, and there is a lot of clear real estate over the central plains. But our next weather maker, that is well off towards the northwest, and that is going to approach as the day wears on tomorrow. So for tomorrow morning, mostly clear skies, and at least for a majority of the day, we'll have a lot of sunshine. But as we go in towards Sunday, check this out. Seeing more clouds off towards the west. This will continue to stream into the area as we go in towards Sunday evening. And you notice some of these green echoes in central Missouri Sunday night. This activity will arrive on Monday morning. We'll track that in just a second. But here's where our high temperatures will stand tomorrow, right around 65 degrees, which is normal for this time of year. 64 the high in Union City, 64 in Paducah, 62 in Mount Vernon. Most locations getting up in towards the middle 60s. So we made it up to 68 degrees today, so very similar day to today. Stormcast going in towards Monday morning. You notice precipitation starting to overspread the Fox 23 viewing area as the day wears on. We continue to see showers moving in towards the area, and you'll notice these are kind of moving west to east, and they're also oriented west to east. So some areas could be seeing precipitation for quite a bit of time on Monday. But Monday afternoon and evening, I think the majority of the rainfall will be in the southern part of the viewing area. But going in towards Tuesday, it'll start to lift back up through the area. And I wouldn't even be shocked on Tuesday if we had a brief rumble of thunder. A lot of widespread rain is possible on Tuesday. That'll be something we are watching. Precipitation potential through the work week. Many of us could get a good soaking. Stormcast rainfall estimates here showing some locations up over an inch, and I wouldn't be shocked if some locations even had some reports over 2 inches. Here is a look at our 7-day forecast. Tomorrow overall is going to be a nice day, 65 degrees with quite a bit of sunshine, but clouds increasing in the evening. Mostly cloudy on Monday, scattered showers, more showers on Tuesday, perhaps even more so than on Monday, and I think there's a chance we could see a rumble of thunder there as well. On Wednesday, the rain chance does exist. However, it's mainly going to be in the morning. We got lots of clouds there too. Thursday, another chance. for an isolated shower. So an unsettled week ahead going in towards the end of the week, however. That's when things start to dry out, 52 degrees there. And then we have a really nice day on the way for Saturday, 59 degrees, mostly sunny skies.
You know what, Malcolm, you know what I'm seeing with this forecast? That tomorrow, Sunday, is the perfect day to go ride that train.
Yeah, absolutely. Great day to do that. Get it in tomorrow because, yeah, next week, not looking too great.
We probably need a little rain, though. Rain's good, right?
That's absolutely correct.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Malcolm. Now, right now, there are more than 11 million job openings, yet Americans are quitting their jobs in near record numbers. Fox Business Network's Lydia Hu has more from New York.
Job seekers continue to have the upper hand in this job market as there are a near record 11.3 million job openings across the country. The openings are helping to drive inflation as companies are forced to offer higher pay to attract and retain talent. Today's ADP report shows a gain of 455,000 private sector jobs. But some economists caution this doesn't capture what's happening at small businesses, which are struggling. We also had a near record number of people quit their jobs last month, 4.4 million. The number of hires hit 6.7 million. Economists say this means people who left their jobs quickly found new ones, but it does not mean the roughly 4 million people who've left the job market entirely are returning, which could be a problem for employers.
I do continue to expect that workers will have a little bit more leverage, a little bit more negotiating power than they had before the pandemic.
With businesses competing based on pay to attract and retain workers, wage growth tracking at roughly 5% now, and it's a very expensive problem for businesses. A new small business survey found employee retention along with inflation rank as the top two headaches for business owners today. It's also top of mind for workers as they expect employers to keep up with inflation, which is tracking close to 8%. Mentions of inflation in job reviews on website Glassdoor surged 612% in February year over year. Economists expect wages to continue to grow this year. In New York, Lydia Hu, Fox Business.
Now, with gas prices still above average and the weather getting warmer, people are starting to look for other ways to get around. Bicycle and scooter shops are seeing a surge in business amid the soaring gas prices. We've seen this trend happen during the height of the pandemic, and now that the price of fuel is going up, the urge to drive is going down yet again. Some say they are not only saving money and getting in some exercise, but they're saving time by not being stuck in traffic.
If you drive a gas-guzzling car, $300 is pretty close to what your gas bill might be in a week. So if you can replace just some of your days of commuting with riding a bike, you can make that tank of gas stretch further.
Now, experts say if you plan to pick up the habit, be sure to do a little bit of research or talk to your local bike shop about what option will work best for you and your budget. Now, back to local news. The city of Carbondale is now seeking public input on how to use its American Rescue Plan Act funding. Residents can comment now through the end of April. City leaders say projects seeking funding will focus on replacing lost public sector revenue, supporting the COVID-19 public health and economic response, and increasing pay for eligible workers performing essential work and investing in water, sewer, and broadband infrastructure.
The next Young Sheldon, Monday at 6 on Fox 23.
Now, as we wrap up the show tonight, we want to take a look at the day's top 3 stories on Fox 23. A rollover collision early this morning sent one man to the hospital. The crash happened in the intersection of Kentucky Dam Road and Ledbetter Bridge. Officers responded to the crash around 6:30 a.m. In Scott County, residents will vote Tuesday on a tax levy increase for fire protection district upgrades. The proposed increase of 50 cents per $100 of assessed value of personnel, property, and real estate. In turn, this would lower insurance rates in the area for residents once the building projects are done. And the beloved sign, Mr. Tater, was stolen from Rogue Graphics. The Benton, Kentucky Police Department are still searching for Mr. Tater. And let's get a final look at your weather with Chief Meteorologist Malcolm Byron. Malcolm, what's the weather look like today?
Yeah, we got a frost advisory in effect for tonight, so it's going to be a little bit on the chilly side. We're looking at low temperatures in the 30s for the most part across the Fox 23 viewing area. The blue shaded counties here, that's where we have the frost advisory. It includes Cape Girardeau in towards southern Illinois and even some portions of far southwest Kentucky. Here's what we're talking about as far as low temperatures go. 36 degrees, the forecast low in Cape Girardeau. A couple low 40s down towards the Boot Heel. 41, the forecast low in Kennett. Right near 32 degrees off to the north out towards Mount Vernon. Forecast highs for tomorrow, right around normal for this time of year, I should say. 65 degrees in Cape Girardeau, most locations in the 60s. 62 in Mount Vernon, 66 the high in Kennett. Let's get you a quick look at your 7-day forecast once again. As we go into the beginning of next week, things turn a lot more unsettled. We still have 60s around, but showers, even a couple of thunderstorms possible on Tuesday. Morning showers on Wednesday, maybe an isolated shower on Thursday, and then things start to dry out as we head in towards Friday and Saturday. I think our best day will be Saturday, mostly sunny, 59 degrees.
Thank you both so much for joining us, and we will see you right back here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Have a good night.